Hello and welcome to the Gold Standard, where the AV Club breaks down our favorite award shows. My name is Jack Smart. I am joined today by Cindy White and Peter Scoble. Hello to you both. And we are here to talk about the 95th Academy Awards happening March 12th. Are you guys excited for the Oscars?
My heart is beating out of my chest right now.
I didn't think otherwise. I'm sure we're all very excited about this year, and I do think it's an extraordinary year for film. Let's talk about Best Actress, which I'm just going to go out on a limb and say is my favorite race. It's my favorite category.
You know you love the actresses, Jack.
It's not just true this year, that is true every year. But yeah, this year is no exception. Who should we start with? Peter, I'm just going to throw to you. Who do you think will win Best Actress this year? And who do you think should win? Are they different people? Are they the same people?
I think Michelle Yeoh is going to take home the gold when it comes to the actress. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is probably going to sweep most categories. But I think Cate Blanchett should win for Tar. Her character and her acting, and that is amazing. Blanchett went all in with that one.
Blanchett. Okay, I was wondering if we would just go 6 for 6, all of us going all in on Michelle Yeoh. Cindy, your turn. Are you about to pick Michelle Yeoh for everything?
Very tempted to go in all in on Michelle, especially after she's been sweeping the awards.
She did just win the SAG Award, yes.
It's interesting because until the award season started, it was all about Cate Blanchett. Everybody's talking about Tar. That was her movie. She carried that movie. And for that reason, I think she probably deserves to win the award. She created this person who some people still thought was a real person. You know, it was a very real portrait of a very flawed character, and she did it so well. I love Michelle Yeoh, and I think she will win, and I would not be sad about that. Right. I would be very, very happy for her, and I think it would be an incredible win. So either way, you know, I just hope that Andrea Riseborough doesn't come in as a spoiler and ruin it for the both of them.
She certainly was the surprise nomination, so the theory goes that she could then be a surprise win, you're saying.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, that would be really wild. And as much as I love a shocking, like an Olivia Colman winning this category type of moment, not that was completely out of the blue, but we really all did think that Glenn Close was going to win. Similarly, would it be so shocking if Andrea Riseborough came in? Yes, it would be so shocking. However, I am going to go ahead and agree with you both that for prediction, it will be Michelle Yeoh. She did just win the SAG Award. Cate Blanchett did win the BAFTA. Cate Blanchett, of course, is a favorite of the Oscars. She has 2. This would be her 3rd. She's certainly very deserving, but I am going to go separate from what the two of you have said for should win. I think should win should be Michelle Yeoh. No, it should be Ana de Armas for Blonde. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I don't want to put that out into the universe. No, Michelle Yeoh should win. I think as much as Cate Blanchett is an example of wow, we thought this was a real person. You can sense that this is a part written for this role, for this actor. I think the same thing can be said of Michelle Yeoh in Everything Ever All at Once, where there's pretty much nobody else on the planet who could do that role and do it better. And I just want her to have her moment. I will quit this biz if Michelle Yeoh doesn't win Best Actress. Is that too extreme to say? So let's talk about Best Actor. This is a race that I don't think in typical years, maybe this is just like a personal bias thing, but I often don't think it's a nail biter. I think for Best Actor, there's often a front runner that emerges and that person just tends to win. Like early, a couple months before the show, everyone can kind of agree and kind of congregate around one person. I don't think that's the case this year. I think we're looking at a pretty tight race, especially considering some of the precursor awards. I'm wondering if you guys agree. I will go first in saying, I think that will win. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I think Brendan Fraser will win for The Whale. His narrative of this big comeback story to Hollywood is sort of irresistible. That's the kind of thing that I think an Oscar voter would find irresistible. It's much similar to the way that Renee Zellweger won her 2nd Oscar for Judy, or any of these people who kind of come back. If there's a comeback narrative, that proves irresistible. And of course, his performance is wonderful. For should win, though, I am going to go with somebody else. I think that Colin Farrell's eyebrows should win for The Banshees of Inisherin. As if that needs any further explanation, I do think that the 20-second shot or 15 or 20-second shot that is the whole movie, that is the whole inciting incident of The Banshees of Inisherin, of Colin Farrell's character just responding to the news, trying to take in the news that his friend is suddenly ending their friendship, is Oscar worthy. I'm curious about what you guys think. Cindy, what do you think will win and should win?
It's tough, but before the SAG Awards, I would have said that Colin had had it in the bag. But now, it's kind of a toss-up. And I feel like it's a three-way race because you have to throw Austin Butler in there too. So in terms of should win, will win, I'm going to go for should win. I think that Brendan Fraser did an amazing job. And having been out of the business for so long and this being his big comeback. Now, I was not a fan of the movie, but the fact that his performance in it was really the thing that stood out and the thing that everybody was talking about, I think makes a difference in he should be acknowledged for that. And in terms of will win, that's a tough one, but I think I'm going to go with Brendan again. Yeah, I think that he will get the recognition that he so deserves after all this time.
Sure. And Peter?
I agree that Brendan Fraser will take home the Oscar for Best Actor. His whole, comeback has been pretty much one of the biggest stories of the year. However, who should win, in my opinion, is Austin Butler for Elvis. And I think the reason why I want him to win so much is because I just want to see what kind of bonkers speech he'll give. If he doesn't end his speech with thank you very much, you might as well just throw the whole award show away.
Let's go home.
And if we think that that's as good a reason as any that somebody should win or that we think will win or want to win an Oscar, then maybe that's true for Oscar voters too. I think, Peter, you're right. Like maybe there's a voter who's like, I just want to see if he has his Elvis voice when he accepts an Oscar. It's a great reason. Now, let's talk about Best Director. And I think this is a category that, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, it's comparing apples and oranges. I think of most categories at the Oscars or at any award shows, how you compare one director to another is completely arbitrary. It's completely in the eye of the beholder. But I want to know about this eye of this beholder. Peter, can I start with you? Yeah. Who should win Best Director and who do you think will win Best Director?
I think the Daniels are going to win Best Director this year, but personally I think Todd Field should win for Tar, or as I call the film, Hand Talkers, the movie.
Hand Talkers.
That movie is just all about talking with your hands. Those are my predictions.
And Cindy, what about you?
Well, I love Tar, and I love what Todd Field did with that movie. I think the more you see it, the more you see in it. So great pick, Peter. But I'm going to go with Everything Everywhere all at once because I think in terms of level of difficulty and what they attempted with that film is just so high. You have to give them points for trying to do something that on paper could have been a complete disaster, but they brought it all together. They kept it coherent. They kept it with all these different crazy things that they brought into it, and they made an emotional story out of chaos. So I love the film, and I think they deserve to win the award. Beautiful,
of course. That's the thing with Best Directors. This is why I come back to the idea that it's apples and oranges, and it depends on what your definition of great directing is, because to Cindy's point, those two Daniels, for Everything Everywhere All at Once, they only had a couple $1 million to their name, and they made that movie look like way more than that amount. And it certainly made more than that amount at the box office. And then, yeah, Todd Field is operating at a level where, like, the last 15 minutes of Tar, I couldn't even wrap my head around what he was doing as a director. Truly next level stuff. I think that my prediction for Best Director is also the Daniels. As we said for Best Picture, the Daniels won the DGA Award, the Directors Guild Award, which tends to pick Best Picture for the Oscars. And of course, they've swept all those other awards. So Everything Everywhere is a solid pick for director if you're doing your Oscar pool. I'm just going to be different and say what I think should win. I think that Steven Spielberg, as director of The Fabelmans, for that last shot alone is what clinched it for me. Again, all of these directors are very talented. They all did amazing work for all these different reasons. Another director here who isn't even nominated, James Cameron, wasn't nominated for Way of Water for directing. But by a different criteria of directing, that's the most impressive direction. So again, it's a really amazing year. Will win, probably the Daniels, but I'm going to go with Steven Spielberg for his most personal film ever. Obviously, the biggest category of the night is Best Picture. It's the biggest award in probably all of Hollywood. Just so we break down, before I throw to you both, the nominees. There are 10 nominees for Best Picture at this year's Oscars. All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Cindy, I'm going to start with you and ask you, who do you think should win Best Picture? And then who do you think will win Best Picture this year?
Did you throw to me because the last one was women talking?
We need a woman talking here.
I am going to go with Everything Everywhere All at Once. That is both the film that I think will win and the film that I think should win, because it was an amazing film and it's got so much momentum coming into this award season. I think it's pretty much in the bag at this point. I would like to see other ones win, but I think that Everything is the one.
Both for what will win and should win, you're
Yeah.
saying, for Everything Everywhere. Peter, do you agree? I'm guessing that you do.
I do agree. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to take home Best Picture for sure. It's just a really well-made movie. It's endearing, even though there is some very strong contenders out there. I mean, you're going up against, Avatar. You're going up against Meet the Fabelmans. You're going up against Tar, and those are all excellent movies. But I think the momentum for Everything Everywhere All at Once is just unstoppable at this point.
I am also going to say that Everything Everywhere will win Best Picture. In terms of predictions, it swept at the SAG Awards and Producers Guild Awards. So if both guilds, which have a heavy overlap with Oscar voters, are saying that it will win Best Picture, it will probably win Best Picture, which is pretty wild to think about considering this movie came out in March of last year and has been just gaining momentum ever since, and is not a typical Best Picture winner. However, because both of you said Everything Everywhere for both will win and should win, I'm just going to go rogue and say that what I want to win, what should win, I'm going to go with the Banshees of Inisherin. Because Everything Everywhere All at Once is a very worthy winner, and I'm not going to be mad if it wins. And again, I think it will. But the Banshees of Inisherin was like a very, very pleasurable, very exciting movie-going experience, and I think it is worthy of Best Picture. And to Peter's point, this is just a great year for film.
Yeah, I want to say that whatever film wins, I think there's a good chance that a lot of the audience will have seen it, which is new. This year you have big populist films like Avatar and Maverick in contention. So I think that it's the most populist Oscars ever. So I think there's a good chance that something, whatever wins, is going to have a lot of fans out there.
I think a lot of people think that Everything Everywhere All at Once is the underdog, but I don't believe that's the case at all.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah.
Even if you're going up against something as gigantic as Avatar, Avatar's not going to win. Nobody wants the Blue People movie to win, to be honest. James Cameron is a god king, though.
Yeah, it's a great point that this is a very populist Oscars. There's a lot of sequels in the mix this year. I think Everything Everywhere All at Once will expand the Academy's definition of what makes a Best Picture. And that was the gold standard. Thank you, Peter and Cindy, for joining me. My name is Jack Smart. Thank you for joining us. Visit the AV Club for more awards coverage. And let us know in the comments if you agree with our picks for will win and should win for the 2023 Oscars.